Um, so go ahead and get to, actually, we'll go ahead and start on our backs today. So get in a comfortable position on your back, whatever that means to you. And bring your knees up to your chest and hug them nice and tight into your chest. Maybe you want to rock back and forth. Maybe you want to make a little circle with your knees. Make sure you go both directions for making a circle. Hold those knees into your chest nice and tight, and then slowly let go and let your legs ooze down. Your feet can be on the mat. Excuse me, with your knees bent, or the bottoms of your feet can be together with your knees bent in kind of a reclined goddess pose. You can have your legs extended out in front of you if you'd like. If your knees are bent, your feet can be like hip width distance, or maybe you want to heel toe your feet so they're kind of the width of the mat and let your knees knock in together. That's all perfectly acceptable. We're just going to focus on elongating that spine and imagining the top of the head growing long. See if you can find space in your neck. Can you melt those shoulders down? Can you tuck that tailbone under, releasing the gap between you and the mat and maybe elongating that spine just a little bit. You focus in on your glutes and your hips and make sure you're not holding any tension here. Your knees are knocking in. Make sure that they are comfortable. Make sure you're not reaching. If they're not comfortable, you can always heel toe those feet in a little bit closer. When you feel that spine is nice and long, see if you can imagine it rooting into the ground. From the back of your head, between your shoulder blades, all the way down the back into those hip bones and into that tailbone. Can you feel rooted against the mat? You can imagine little roots coming out of your spine and gripping onto the ground. You can place your weight on that spine and really center yourself, pushing your weight, pushing down on the mat with the spine. That helps you. When you feel like the spine is really rooted down and can support you, I want you to concentrate on that feeling. Maybe you're relaxed now, but you can feel supported by that ground. You're not going to fall through the ground, and if you do, then the ground underneath that will support you. Okay. Your hands can be on your diaphragm, on your chest, wherever you feel comfortable. Just start to inhale and exhale. And really feel that breath with your hands as they lift up and lower down with each breath. That helps, you can place one hand on your chest and one hand around your low belly or diaphragm. And go ahead and inhale together. Exhale all your air. Inhale through the nostrils. And then flutter out through the lips. One more like that, inhaling through the nostrils. One more sip. And then exhaling out through the lips. And you're breathing normally. Feeling that breath in your hands. Feeling that air moving through your nostrils. Listening to the sound of the air, inhaling, exhaling out through your nostrils. You experience your breath with all your senses. Take the mind away from your breath and focus back in on that spine. Feeling nice and strong beneath you. And you move your attention to your low abdomen and belly button. Can you imagine those low belly muscles melting around your hips and really trying to grip the mat behind you? You can always do like a gentle thigh, I don't know, pet, gentle hip pet, a gentle hip pet. Like to activate those muscles. And from here, your belly button should really feel locked in to that spine, like it's pulling back, like gravity is helping it. I mean, you can imagine it also. Gravity is helping pull it back towards the spine. Really feel like that belly button is locked in on that spine, like they're one object. Folding from the hips, that keeping that belly button at one object. Can you just lift your knees off the mat? No, lift your knees up, lift your feet off the mat, lift your knees into the air, leaving that low back. Thank you, Trey. Leaving that low back gripping on the mat, leaving that low belly reaching around to the back. Holding your hands there if that makes it more comfortable. And using only those low belly muscles, lifting those knees and feet off the mat. Do a couple more like that. And you pull those low belly muscles down. I don't want you to think about it as like sucking in your tummy, because that's not effective, right? We're clenching those low belly muscles. We're holding that belly button nice and strong, and we're folding right there, lifting, pushing. Imagine you're pushing the mat down with your shoulders and the backs of your arms and lifting those knees up using your low belly muscles, low abdomen. Feet all the way back down to the mat. Release any tension in your shoulder blades. Imagine that back is gripping onto the mat. Tensing those lower abdominals, lifting those knees into the air. This time you can hug those knees against your chest. You can go from side to side. You can bring your knees into a nice little circle, maybe the opposite way too. Resting those knees back, resting those feet back down to the mat. Again, you can knock the knees in, you can keep them separate. And we're just going to concentrate on the arms. I'm going to start by reaching them forward like you're reaching your fingertips into towards the ceiling, reaching those fingers, spreading them out in all directions. Option to bring those palms towards each other like you're holding a giant beach ball, like you're holding a small beach ball. And just breathe here. I'm just going to focus on the shoulders. Can you relax those shoulders back to the mat so your hands lower a few inches? Reaching those shoulders off the mat, reaching those fingertips as high as you can, and then relaxing the shoulders back down. So my arms are still straight, my arms are still reaching, it's only my shoulders that are moving. Keeping that in mind, can you glue those shoulders back down to the mat, reaching with those fingertips, reaching with those forearms and biceps, but leaving those shoulders glued to the mat. From here, we're going to make a big T with the arms, not touching the ground, about 3 inches off the mat. Again, our shoulders are glued to the ground. With our big T, we're reaching out to the sides and then lifting our arms back up like we're pushing on that beach ball, making it smaller, decreasing the size as we get to about shoulder width distance. Again, we're going to go out to a big T. This time we're going to make our cartoon cactus arms, big fingers still. Thank you, Trey. Make fists with your hands. Make sure you are still hovering above the mat. Maybe this is helping get a nice straight line between the shoulders and elbows. But from here, we're just going to flex those biceps and then turn one arm down and one up. I find this actually a lot more difficult because my arm actually has to rotate all the way down to the mat again, towards the front. And when you want to come back to your cartoon cactus arms, nice big spread fingers. This time we're going to bring those elbows and forearms together like we've got the ball in between. So they're just going to stay about shoulders width distance. From here, imagine those shoulders lifting off the mat, making those elbows lift into the air. Bring them back down, glue those shoulders down onto the mat, and then we're going to release the arms back and bring them back to the front of the body. Shoulders are staying glued down. We're going to do 5 of these, just bringing those forearms up and back down as if you were on a machine. Imagine you have weights resisting you. You don't have anything resisting you, so use your own muscles as resistance. And when you've had enough of that, we'll go back to our nice big T, feeling that hover over the mat. I know, Trey. And then we'll bring that right arm over, bring that left arm up into a nice runner's, I call this runner stretch, it's not a runner stretch, a nice outer arm stretch. And relax that shoulder down. We'll go ahead and do the other side. When you're ready, we'll come to a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. Come to your nice comfortable seat. We're going to bring those feet out in front of you. Give your knees a little shake out. We're going to lift the arms into the air again. Again, releasing those shoulders down the back. Pulling that belly button back towards the spine. Holding in those lower abdominals and folding forward. Not putting any tension in the back of the legs or any tension in the back. No need to round over here. Just a nice gentle fold forward. Nice straight spine. Your hands can be on your shins, on your ankles, or on your toes. Whatever's most comfortable for you. And while you're here, see if you're holding tension anywhere. Can you release any muscles in the back of your legs, in your hips or your glutes? And on your next exhale, see if maybe you can fold a little deeper. And when you're ready, you can ground in that back and slowly come back up to a seated pose. This time we'll take one leg out to the side, bring the other leg in as though we were in a tree pose, an extreme tree pose. From here, we'll rotate the hips so they're facing towards our elongated foot. Lift those arms up in the air again, release those shoulders down, keeping those arms nice and straight. Then we'll exhale towards the foot. Again, your hands can be on your shin, your ankle, or your toes, whatever's most comfortable. We'll gently roll up to stand. And we'll do about 5 crunches to this leg. So again, holding in those lower abdominals, imagine them wrapping around, really helping you with your stability as you rotate your hips. And then we'll come down for 1, 2. You can exhale as you fold forward. 3. And maybe find a little bit more fold and a little bit more length. And then come back up to the center. We'll rotate those hips again so they're towards the front of the or side of the room. Sorry. And from here, you can lift your same arm as leg and bring it down to the side. You can take your opposite arm over top. You can go behind to give yourself a half bend and shine that chest towards the ceiling if you'd like. I'm trying to stretch those intercostal muscles on the opposite side. Yes, I love it. And on your next inhale, we'll come back up to center. And we'll do about 5 side crunches. Again, hips are towards the front, trying to hold in those lower abdominals. Reaching to the side. 1, hello, and 2, hello, Trey, and 3, I love you so much. 1, and 1 more. Beautiful. From here, we'll reach the other leg out. So we have our legs out into a V. From here, you can gently walk your hands forward. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold, sitting down. Again, no need to round in the back. You can make a nice long spine here. If you feel like you're not going far enough down or like you're feeling a stretch in these inner thighs, you can always bring your feet in a little closer. You'll probably go down a little bit further. You won't feel that stretching in that inner thigh. Hello, I know. You're so neglected. From here, we'll bring that other foot into the inner thigh. We'll start by rotating the hips towards the foot and just folding forward in the spine. Nice elongation in the back of the neck. You have an hour, okay? You gotta leave me alone. On your next inhale, we'll come up And then exhale to fold forward. Inhale back up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Do one more. Exhaling down. Coming back up, rotating the hips so that they're towards the side of the mat. Reaching down towards your leg. And bring that top arm over top behind you for a half bind. If you want to shine that chest towards the ceiling. And then sliding all the way back up, we'll do about 5 crunches to the side, focusing in on those lower abdominals. Ooh. Try not to let your knees pop up in the air like mine did. And one more. And when you're ready, we will come to a tabletop pose at the front of the mat. Excuse me. Knees underneath hips, elbows, wrists, and shoulders all in a row. Starting with a nice neutral spine. Go ahead and go into your cat-cows, dropping that udder down, shining that chest forward. Exhaling into cat, rounding in the back. Option to come up on your tippy toes and fingertips. Inhaling to cow, dropping that udder down, shining that chest forward. Take a few breaths in cow pose. Imagining those hip points pointing up into the air. On your next exhale, pressing back into cat pose. Option to come up on the tippy toes and fingertips. Taking a few breaths here. And going back into cow. You can take these movements at your own pace and own breath. Making sure you link your breath to your movement. You feel your spine is nice and warmed up. You begin to integrate S and C curves in the spine. You're ready to come to a nice neutral spine. Start with a gentle twist. Lifting one arm into the air. Again, trying to twist from the midsection, leaving these hips in a neutral place. It's not happening. Exhaling, threading that needle under, pressing the outer edge of that shoulder onto the mat. And inhaling back up into your stretch. And exhaling down to the mat. Inhaling the opposite arm into the air. Attempting to glue those tops of the feet to the mat and stretch from the midsection. Exhale to thread the needle under, placing the outside of the shoulder onto the mat. Inhaling back up into your twist. Exhaling down to the mat. Do not drink my water. Thank you. Coming back to the mat, tucking those toes under. Pressing the mat away from you, lift your knees up into downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet here. Your feet can be hip width distance or wider if you're more comfortable with wider feet. Oh, thank you, Clem. On your next inhale, we'll lift the heels into the air. On your next exhale, pull them back down onto the mat. See if you can lift those sit bones into the air. See if you can press the ground away from you. And we'll start by lifting that right leg into the air, nice and high into the, oh, I'm gonna flip over. From here, you can bend that knee. Option to drop it behind you and lift your opposite arm into the air for rock star pose. 3 to 5 good breaths here. And you're ready to come back to three-legged dog. We're going to do a big round over in the shoulders and bring that foot up to our hands. Heel toe it over if you need to. So it's placed between your hands. Make sure you're not pushing that butt up in the air like I just was. Make that nice, strong line in that back leg. We're going to rotate that back foot down just to make that nice, sturdy, low lunge. In your low lunge, we're going to take the same arm as bent leg, place it on the ground next to the foot. We're going to try to bring this front leg into more of a 90-degree angle. You now have your arm and your leg to support you. If you feel uncomfortable, you can heel toe that back foot in a little bit closer. Might give you a little bit more space. Come into that 90-degree angle here. Your opposite arm, we're going to lift it up into the air. Like if we were to straighten this knee, we'd be in a nice triangle. Now we're just in a low lunge. Here we're going to exhale that arm back down. We're going to take that arm that is supporting our leg here, place it on the outside of the foot, and we're going to lift that arm into the air. And exhale, bring your hand back down, place that foot back to meet the back. Come into your downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet here. Inhaling to lift the heels into the air. Exhaling to bring them back down to the mat. Gonna lift the opposite leg in the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Drop that foot behind you and lift your opposite arm in the air for rock star pose. 3 to 5 breaths wherever you are. You're ready to come back to three-legged dog. Make it take a nice straight leg here. We'll bend the knee. Do a nice big swoop with the arms and bring that foot to meet the hands. So we're foot, hand, hand. From here, we'll heel toe that foot over. But we still want to be foot, hand, hand. Whatever's really comfortable and sturdy, we're going to drop that back heel down to the mat. You may need to make some adjustments here. My butt likes to pop up when I do that. So we've got our foot, hand, hand. Our hand is supporting our leg, so we can bring that knee a little bit forward into our right angle. And then we're going to lift that arm up so that if we were to straighten that knee, we'd be in a triangle pose. From here, we're gonna rotate that arm down. We're gonna bring that opposite arm up. Gonna adjust that foot. And how did you even get up there? Just coming into this nice twist, concentrating on bringing that thigh and knee to a 90-degree angle. On your next exhale, you bring your hand down, kick your foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. Option to roll forward to plank and go through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths in down dog. When you're ready, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the back of your neck. You can nod your head yes. You can shake your head no. You can move your head I don't know. From here, imagine both halves of the body are melting into the earth. The arms, the shoulders, the top of the head, the neck are all pulling down to the ground. At the same time, the feet, ankles, and thighs pulling in the opposite direction, but still down to the ground. Your next inhale, place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Maybe your forward fold a little bit more deep this time. Maybe your knees are a little less bent. Maybe with each exhale, you fold a little bit more deeply, moving micromillimeters at a time. Maybe you're gently swaying back and forth and to and fro, releasing any tension in the back of the thighs or the hip points. Ready to come back to stillness. We'll gently roll up to stand. Standing in a mountain pose at the front of the mat. I'm going to start off with a forward fold twist. So go ahead and pick one arm and place that in between, place your hand in between your feet. The opposite hand will go up into the air. Just breathe here in your twist. The same knee as hand down can bend. And your next inhale, we'll go ahead and straighten both knees. Switch the placement of your hands and the opposite knee. Reach that arm into the sky. On your next exhale, bring both hands down to the mat. And again, we'll gently roll up to stand. Concentrating on those hips, tilting and tucking that pelvis. Taking that movement from just a tilt and a tuck to the side and side. See if you can plant your feet, plant your knees, and simply move your hips. Maybe they move in micromillimeters. Maybe your upper body is trying to move instead. Or maybe you're very, very good at isolating your hip movements. When you're ready, we're going to incorporate all 4 of those points in a nice big diamond shape. Going forward, to the left, back, right, forward, left, back, right. You can bring your knees in a little bit more if you'd like. And when you're ready, we're going to go in the opposite direction, still making that diamond shape. And when you're ready to go the opposite direction, make a nice smooth circle. You can play with leaving your knees out of it. You can play with bringing your knees into it. And make sure you go the opposite direction as well. I know. And he's really got into that one. When you're ready, we're going to come to stillness. We're going to twist from the top, from our standing position. We're using our hands. We're going to take our right hand to our left hip, our left hand to our right hip, leaving the hips where they are. See if you can twist your torso. Imagining a sponge wringing out from your midsection. And then switching the crossing of your arms, we'll twist to the other side. Coming back to your center, you can let your arms kind of sway back and forth if you'd like. You can move your body and let your arms swing out bigger and bigger. Do one more arm swing while we're standing here. Go ahead and make one big circle. Make a nice big circle with one arm and then the other, overlapping like you're swimming. And then backwards. Swing up. And then coming back to a nice stillness, mountain pose at the front of the mat. We'll inhale the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. And lower your knees, chest, and chin, and go through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog on the center of the mat. Nice deep breath in, down dog. And when you're ready, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, we'll place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, let's lift the arms in the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, pressing back to down dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. And then you can hop or step forward to your forward fold at the front of the mat. And your next inhale, let's place hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling to gently roll up the stand. Standing in mountain pose, in front of the mat. Nice big inhale. Excuse me. All right, nice big exhale. You're not to know, maybe away. On your next inhale, lift the arms above your head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling back to down dog. Hop or step forward through a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up to stand. All right, 2 more like that. Inhaling at the front of the mat, lifting the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. From here, you can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, pressing back to down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. And inhaling to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. On your next exhale, you can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, press back to down dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, we'll gently roll up to stand. Breathing here, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, shaking out the knees. Falling into all 4 corners of the feet here, not falling into those arches. We're going to lift the arms in the air for Urdhva Hastasana. From here, we're going to move into chair pose. So if it's more comfortable for you to heel toe your feet together, please do so. You're going to lower that bum. Place the arms forward. Ideally, my heels would stay down. The butt would come down. Imagine you're sitting on a chair. From here, we'll exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands and step back to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra and exhaling to press up to a downward facing dog. Inhaling that right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhaling to bend that knee, pulling that heel towards the bum. We're going to make a nice big rainbow with our shoulders as we bring that foot up to our hands. Help it if you need to. You did it my way, always heel toe that foot back underneath you. So now we're in our low lunge. I'm going to rotate that back heel down to come into our warrior 1. Adjust your position any way you need to. And imagine pressing that mat away from you and coming up to warrior 1. Breathing here. Working on pulling that front knee forward. Trying to get a right angle in that knee. From here, we're going to exhale, reach those hands back behind you, interlace the fingers, and bring that shoulder down to the knee. From here, it's really a lot easier to adjust that front leg. Woo! That's a lot easier to fall over, so be careful. You have the support of that shoulder. Can you make that front knee a little bit more like a right angle? On your next inhale, pressing back to warrior one. Exhaling to frame that front foot. Take that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale to lower those knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And pressing back to down dog. From here, we'll lift that left leg into the air. Three-legged dog. Bend that knee, bring that heel towards the bump. Nice big rainbow arch with the shoulders. Bring that foot up to meet the hands. Help it if you need to. Heel toe it underneath you. And we're coming into that nice sturdy low lunge. Rotate that back heel down. Checking in with our right angle on that front knee. Pressing the mat away from you. Let's lift up into our warrior one. From here, I'll release those fingers behind, release those arms behind you, interlace your fingers back behind you, weird thumb on top. Bring that shoulder down to that knee. Humble warrior. Your next inhale will come into warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And pressing back to down dog. 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose, whichever you find more relaxing. And on your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. And on your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Concentrating on all 4 corners of the feet. Lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding forward. Nope. Inhaling, mountain pose. Exhaling, chair pose. Let's bring those hands to heart center. Hook the left elbow on the right knee, and we'll come into a chair pose twist. On your next inhale, we'll come back into our chair pose. And exhale to the other side. A beautiful twist. On the next inhale, go ahead and come into a chair pose and exhale to fold forward. When you're ready, you can step back into plank pose and run through your vinyasa. Lowering the knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, pressing back to down dog. Once in down dog, you can lift that right leg into the air for three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Heel toe underneath your body. We're going to rotate that back heel down. This time we come into our warrior one. We'll just press up on the inhale into warrior one. And on the exhale, we'll come down to our humble warrior. Inhaling back to our warrior one. We're going to exhale our arms out to warrior two. Let's inhale, we're going to reach forward and then come back to reverse your warrior. And we're going to straighten that front knee, reach all the way forward and down, and come into a triangle pose. From here, we're going to bend that front knee again. Place your forearm on your thigh. See if you can get a really nice, good right angle in that front leg. Bring that opposite arm overhead. Option to bring that arm behind you and come into a half bind. And here you can bring your arms and windmill them down to frame that front foot. Take that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank pose. Move through your vinyasa. Lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a little cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale back to down dog. On your next inhale, bring that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, bring that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. Get a nice right angle on that front knee. Inhale into warrior one. Exhale down to humble warrior. Inhale up to warrior one. Exhale out to warrior two. Your next inhale, and flip that palm up, go forward, and then back to reverse your warrior. Give that front knee a rest, come forward and down for triangle pose. Bend that front knee so you're in a comfortable right angle, and then bring that forearm to the thigh. Bring that opposite arm overhead, or fold it behind you for a half bind. Your next exhale, you can windmill the front feet. Kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a little cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, pressing back to down dog. 3 breaths in down dog. And your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. You're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll gently roll up the stand. All right, it's time to go through that one more time. So we'll start at the front of the mat in a mountain pose. Inhaling your arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, coming into chair pose. Nice deep inhale in chair. And then exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. Inhaling the right leg into the air, three-legged dog, bending that knee, arching those shoulders, bringing that foot forward, helping it if you need to. Rotating that back heel down. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling down for humble warrior. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling out for warrior two. Inhaling up, forward, and exhaling down for triangle. Inhaling up for warrior two, and exhaling down for side angle pose. Windmilling those hands down, frame that front foot. Get that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhaling, pressing back to down dog. Inhaling that left foot into the air, three-legged dog. Bending that knee, bringing that foot forward, helping it if you need to. Coming into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. You're going to push the mat away from us and come into a warrior one. Exhale to humble warrior, weird thumb on top. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale to go forward and down for triangle pose. Inhaling up for warrior two and exhaling down for side angle pose. We'll rotate our hands down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to a down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step, sort of forward fold the front of the mat. From here, we'll gently roll up to stand, and we'll come into a mountain pose. Kick your legs out, give your knees a shake, take a drink of water. We'll come into our balancing pose. Coming into tree pose, we're going to go ahead and slap the bottom of the feet, wake them up, make them grip the ground, make them pay attention. Whatever foot you want to start with, the opposite one can kickstand at the ankle, can be placed on the calf, or really dug up into that inner thigh. Wherever you're most comfortable, your hands can be at heart center, on your hips, or branches blowing in the breeze. And if you fall out of it, come back in. When you're ready, you can release that foot from the leg. Bring that knee forward. Lift that foot in the air, maybe a little higher, and let it go. And go ahead and rub the outer muscle of that standing calf. If that helps you, helps me. Then we'll go to the other foot. Really balance it on all four corners. Lift up in that insole, what's that called? Yeah, the interior of your foot. You can kickstand your heel to your ankle, bring your foot into your calf, or you can really place that heel into that inner thigh. As long as your foot is not touching your knee, you should be fine. Hands can be on your hips at heart center or branches blowing in the breeze. You're ready, you can remove that foot from the knee. We'll bring the knee forward, straighten out that leg, lift the heel up a little higher, and let it go. You can always give a nice rub to that standing leg, the outer muscle, that standing leg. We'll come back to mountain pose at the front of the mat. Oh. From here, we're going to lift the arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale that right foot into the air, three-legged dog. We're going to bend it this time, bring that shin forward, and get yourself into pigeon pose. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight behind you. If you have any support you may need, and then rest your chest down to the mat. Inhale, you can lift your head and let your chest off the mat. And go ahead and bring yourself into a tabletop pose. Maybe your hips a little shake out here. And tuck those toes under and press your legs up to a downward facing dog. Give your hips a little shake out and down dog. We'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee this time, scoot your shin forward. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight behind you. Lifting that head, neck, and chest, go ahead and rest them onto the mat. Next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. You can bring yourself into a tabletop pose. Give your hips a little shake out here. Tuck your toes under, press yourself into downward facing dog. You can have one last optional vinyasa. We'll roll forward to plank, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. And down dog will lower or to forward to plank and then lower your body down in one motion if you can. If you can't, lower your knees and then the rest of your body down. We're gonna roll on to our backs. Go ahead and bring your feet about hips width distance, and we'll go ahead and windshield wiper out through the knees. Bring those knees into the chest, nice and tight. And we'll get ready for an inversion. You can either place a block under your sacrum for supported legs in the air, place your legs against the wall. You go supported shoulder stand if you want to grab your, excuse me, hips with your hands and come in like this. You can always do a plow and let your feet fall back behind you. Very comfortable. Release your inversion wherever you are. You can make little circles with your bent knees. Give yourself a low back massage. And windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And you can position your feet so you can just about graze your heels with your fingertips. Come into 3 active bridge poses. On your next inhale, start with tucking that tailbone nice and tight. Leading with that tailbone, lift your hips off the mat. Option to wiggle those shoulder blades beneath you. Really press that mat away from you with your feet. 3 to 5 good breaths here. Release your hands, release your shoulders, release that spine back to the mat. Go ahead and windshield wiper those knees back and forth. You're ready, we'll come to stillness. Starting with that tailbone, we'll lift the hips into the air. Wiggle those shoulder blades beneath you. Interlace your fingers back behind you if you feel comfortable with that. I'll just take 3 to 5 good breaths here. On your next exhale, you can bring your spine back down to the mat and windshield wiper your legs back and forth. And then when you're ready, we'll come into one final bridge pose, starting with that tilting of that pelvis, tucking of that pelvis, lifting up the hips, wiggling those shoulders underneath you, interlacing your fingers if that's available to you, and breathing here. Pressing that mat away from you with your feet, lifting those hips a little higher in the air. Gently bringing that spine back down to the mat. Windshield wipering those knees back and forth. From here, you'll hug your knees into your chest nice and tight. Release your legs down. We'll bring the right ankle to the left knee. Lift that left leg into the air. Flex both feet here. If you're happy here, you can stay. Option to bring your hands behind your left leg and press that right knee away from you with your elbow. If you're happy here, please stay. If you can't quite find a spot to stretch, you can always gently, very, very gently, just try to rock back and forth in space until you find an area that needs stretched. Sitting here in your figure 4. You can release your hands, release your legs. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Switch the crossing of the legs. We'll bring that left ankle to that right knee. Bring that right knee up in space. Flex both feet. And if you're happy here, please stay. Option to bring the hands behind the right leg and press that left leg away from you with your left elbow. Perhaps you can't find anything to stretch. You can gently rock back and forth until maybe you find some places maybe a little bit more stuffed, a little bit more sore, a little bit more in need of a nice, gentle stretch. You can release your arms, release your legs. You can windshield wiper those knees back and forth. We'll hug the legs into the chest again. Get ready for your nice gentle twist. Drop the knees to one side. Your arms can be in crouching cactus, stretched out to the side. You place one hand on your knee to help you stretch. Your gaze can be towards the ceiling or over the opposite shoulder. However, the opposite shoulder can get quite intense. You imagine a giant hook pulling your hip bone down towards your feet. Next inhale, you can lift those knees to the center again. Keep them in nice and tight, and then we'll exhale them down to the opposite side. Again, your arms can be in crouching cactus arms. It can be stretched out to the side. Your hands can be on your knees, helping you stretch. Your gaze can be over your opposite shoulder or towards the ceiling. You imagine a giant hook pulling those hips, so one is stacked right on top of the other. The next inhale, you can lift those knees back to the center, hug them into the chest nice and close. You can reach for those inner soles of the feet and come into your happy baby. Your happy baby can look like whatever you want it to. You can practice stretching those legs out, maybe one at a time. You can practice bringing those knees into your armpits. Or maybe just practice rocking from side to side. Then you can release your feet. Release your legs down, out, release your arms down, and come into your final resting. Begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. Make small movements in your fingers and toes. Roll onto one side using your arm as a pillow. Take one breath in the fetal position. And roll up to a comfortable seat. And we close with one Om. Inhaling for Om. Om. Namaste.